Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando. We're doing another little painting video, some actual content this time. I'm having to record the audio separately, so we're back at the painting station, so I do apologise if I ramble. So what we've got on the table, so at the moment I'm currently working on a couple of projects. First up is my last few guys for my Night Lords, just trying to get them along to a certain point. This looks really messy at the moment, but trust me, it's all part of the process. It's supposed to look like this at the moment. They've just been getting loads of oils. I have put together and primed my first 5 Solar Auxilia and written the fluff for them as well. So those guys will be getting a blast of white primer next. I have basically finished this Ulthway War Walker. It just needs some coats of matte varnish and then like the tufts and stuff adding to the base, and then that will be done. But today we're actually going to be focusing on this guy, who is a test model. He may not actually end up in the army, for the Alpha Legion. I've said about wanting to do the Alpha Legion for a while now. And this guy is basically cobbled together from bits from probably 6-7 different parts. And I've always... well, let's start here. So recently you guys helped me get a load of new paints. And here's just some of them, the colours, some browns, loads more TT Combat, because you know how much I love TT Combat. Looking forward to trying that pink out and something. Some Vallejo thick mud basing like detail stuff. It's going to be good for some tanks. And I believe, yeah, just the usual, you know, GW trash. But I got those thanks to you guys. But the main paints I really wanted with these things, the Vallejo Shifters. And this is the Galaxy Dust set, and it contains 6 paints, and Turquoise Violet is the one I'm going to be using. Why? Because back in Index Astartes, back in about 2012, and I will be using my airbrush unfortunately, pre-Heresy Alpha Legion was shown off, and rather than being in their teal and silver, which is their post-Heresy colour scheme, they had a pre-Heresy colour scheme, which was indigo, or it was a nice sort of bluey purple. And you can see this on the cover of Dan Abnett's Legion. Now, it does actually describe them as having a multitude of colours, including, and not limited to, the normal bluey silver we see, indigo, black, unpainted, and even coral red. Now, these are different paints because they have a specific thing about them. They have this weird shifting pattern that when you move them, they change colour. And as you can see, it's quite a large range of paints. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So first 2 we have are light violet and green gold cold blue. They don't look anything like they do in the actual bottles themselves. Next up we have the turquoise violet, the one we're going to be using, and emerald green and violet. And then lastly we have green silver blue and dark green tin. Now that one I think is going to be really useful for another project, and I will be testing it out at some point, and that's the iron hands. Now I currently do my iron hands with a lot of glazing and airbrush like layers to get that kind of oily sheen iron hands look, and anything that can help me speed that up would be really nice. So this is the model we're going to be using, and one of the things you do need to do is make sure you use a black glossy primer. Now Vallejo's Mecha Black Primer is not the glossiest black primer. The regular one is actually more glossy, and I think you can get, I think Badger Styronez does a specific glossy black primer. It might be MIG, I can't quite remember. So in here it does say you can paint with a brush, and it is possible to achieve different colour shift effects by mixing the colours. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to play around with. Now I haven't had a chance. You're literally seeing my very first openings of the bottles and trying it out live on camera. There's no preempting this. I am doing everything live. And yeah, so you can see it's white. It's white in the bottle, but it's blue and purple on the label. So that's a bit weird. And that usually means that the paint has separated. So I am going to shake this like a baby that won't stop crying. And and we'll just say, now this took a while, unfortunately. And I don't actually have a vortex mixer yet. It is something that's on my list of things to buy. I could currently use my washing machine, which is attempting to shake itself apart. So, yeah, I will keep mixing these and talking now, trying to figure out what I'm going to do to fill up the void. Now, I haven't got any primed stuff that I'm willing to sacrifice, so I'm just going to use an unpainted base, because, you know, an unpainted base is kind of glossy black plastic. And as you can see, it's still white, despite me shaking the buggery out of it. So I'm going to spread it out, mix it around. I wasn't impressed at this point. I'm kind of worried. Have I got a duff batch? Is this literally just an entire bottle of medium? I'm not joking. That thought literally ran through my head, and I got kind of worried. So I thought I'll spread it out and thin it out a bit. And as soon as I moved it and it caught the light, there it is. That's the magic. So I knew I was onto something. I just had to keep going a bit further through. So I went back to shaking it like nobody's business. Also, I don't know why I'm using the absolute finest detail brush to try and just mix paint around. I don't use that size of brush for anything, but, you know, I thought, oh, I'll just, you know, it's there, I'll use it. So, what I'm doing here is, off screen, I'm actually looking for my balls, and I have found my ball sack. It is a load of little glass agitators. These are great, because you put them into paint pots, you can shake them around, and it will help mix the paint. Now, you can take the Vallejo bottles, and all you got to do is rock the sort of the nub, whatever you want to call it, the nozzle, back and forth, and eventually it'll break free, and you can pull it off. And as I did this, I heard a ka-thunk, and I'm like, what the actual shit? Because it turns out these things have actually got agitators already built into them. Quite hefty ones, actually. I'm shaking it like you can hear it. There's no audio because my computer won't record the audio. But yeah, I didn't even have to put them in there. They've already got agitators. You just have to open pull the nozzles off and it'll drop them in for some reason. I haven't got a clue why that's the case. I shook all the others really hard. I banged them on the desk after this, and I couldn't get any of them to separate. They all have to be lifted out first. Which is really wild. So here I am, shaking the buggery out of it another time, but now with the agitator free, which helps mix the paint together a lot easier. What I'm going to be doing next is I'm just going to grab another base. This one's a little 25mm slotter base, which is no use to me whatsoever. And I'm just using a cotton bud because it's a bit bigger and, you know, quicker to do. And as you can see, it mixes the paint up so much quicker. So that's really handy. I give it another couple of quick shakes, and we'll be getting it into the airbrush. Those bottles are fantastic. If you are getting into airbrushing, buying some of these source bottles for a couple of quid off Amazon will save you so much time. They're brilliant for holding like deionized water and a mixture of water and isopropyl alcohol for cleaning. You can just squirt it into the airbrush. You don't have to pour. You'll make less mess. They're brilliant. I absolutely love them. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is just grab another glossy black. I haven't got any other bases sat around. We're kind of looking to see if I can find a base at the moment, but I can't. So I'm going to grab a bottle top, and you'll always see in my videos that I have bottle tops everywhere. This doesn't mean I drink a shitload of soda. Soda? Ugh, who says soda? Fizzy drinks. I'm turning into an American. I get them from my parents. My parents drink a lot of like whiskey and Coke. Or whiskey and Pepsi, actually. So a lot of the time I will just be given a bag of bottle tops from them because they know I like to use them for modelling. I either use them for mixing paint on, or I stick models to them. So that's why I have this huge collection of bottle tops everywhere in all my videos. And I'm just going to give it a couple of blasts with the airbrush because I just want to make sure that it's thinned down properly, that the PSI is correct, that it's not just going to spiderweb everywhere. And you'll see to begin with, it does just spiderweb out a bit. So I have to just kind of play around with it, mix the paint a bit more, and make sure everything's working. And it's actually very difficult to see on camera, unfortunately. I also put a new needle in there, and it's far too long, so it means I can't backflow the airbrush particularly easily because I keep stabbing myself. So I'm happy, and I'm now just going to start blasting. But I'm a little worried about overspray, so I just start moving things out of the way, and then realise you can't see anything, so I'm going to have to move things around. So what am I going to do? Well, spray booth, but I haven't got a spray booth with me. Actually, I do have a spray booth. There's a spray booth about a foot to the left or foot to the right of this video, but it's not set up. So I think I'll use the Galaxy Dust box to block it, but it's too light and it gets blown away by the airbrush. And I'm just like, oh wow, I'll be a genius, and I'll put a paint pot in there, not realising I still can't see anything because I'm at the bottom of the screen. So you know what? I'm looking up at my laptop and I go, okay, let's just bring it up here and use my hand as the catcher to catch any overspray. And I probably should be wearing gloves. And a respirator. The windows are open, it's fine. And as you can see, the colour starts coming on really quickly. And I'm being careful not to touch the model as I'm going as well. And it's very dark. It is quite dark to see. But it is going on nicely. And I'm leaving it to dry, so I'm going to do a second coat in a bit. At the moment that won't be on video. I will do a second part to this video, which will be me finishing off this model. So at this point I think I'll just go over, I don't know, the parts I use for this model. Let's see, the legs are from the old Mark III kit, the torso is from the Mark II kit, the vehicle part kit, the arms I believe are actually both from the Mark VI kit with one van brace from the new Mark III kit. I think the head is either from the Mark VI or the Mark III kit. I can't quite remember. The axe is from the Phalanx Warders set and is actually a legitimate Forge World piece for once from me. And the backpack is from the Chaos Sorcerer. Then there is just assorted gubbins all around his waist from loads of different kits, just to be all Alpha Legion and Saboturi. And you can see here how it shifts from a wonderful dark violet indigo through to the more traditional Alpha Legion teal blue. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. And I wish I could just get a camera that focused properly. But you can see just by changing the light source just how much that changes the tone of the model. And I think these guys are going to look absolutely phenomenal on the tabletop. Really, really impressed with this, and I'm really looking forward to trying out all the other colours. I have a bunch of Marines that are kind of slagged for my Sons of Horus, but I'm starting to think I might just use them to do all the different colours in this set and try them out. So what do you guys think? Do you like this? Do you think it looks cool? I think this would look fantastic on some Tyranid models. I think this would look great on some Tau. I think this would look great on some Eldar models as well. I'm going to be playing around with these things a lot. I don't know how well they'll come out using a brush, but I'm very happy so far. They are a little expensive. It's about £25 for the set. But with the double thumbs up, though, the chubby little thumbs up, I am very happy. So yeah, that's it. That's really all I've got to say for part one. I hope the video wasn't so terrible. I really hope you guys got some entertainment from it. I'm going to do a second coat, and then I'm going to give it a really, really heavy gloss varnish. And I don't intend to matte varnish this like I do all my other models. I also don't intend to oil wash these guys, probably. I might do some slight oil washing, like pin washing, for weathering, but I seriously doubt I'll do much, unlike the guys who are facing them, which is my Nova Marine Terminators. My only concern is that the bases for these two armies are red Sector Mechanicus bases, and they may not look so great on the contrast with the red bases. But I'm going to try it out anyway. Yeah. So keep an eye out for part 2. Part 2 will just be in a couple of days, I think. And I will be showing off probably the other colours and also the finished result on this guy. So let me know what you think in the comments. You know, any suggestions, or if you've used these paints in the past, any tips and tricks that you have, or if there's anything else you'd like to see from me. Please don't hesitate to drop a comment down there. Say hello. You know, strike up a conversation. Ask me for certain video topics or anything else. I really don't mind. No stupid questions. Only stupid people. I'm looking at you, Spill. Alright guys, my name is Bando, this is Bando, and as always, if you want to support the channel, the best things you can do, like, subscribe and comment, hit the share button. You don't even need to share it to anyone. And if you're shopping in the UK for Warhammer, don't pay full price for it. Head on over to Element Games, who I'm not sponsored by. Grab yourself something at about 20% off, and use my code JAM737 to double the number of I'm having a stroke. Reward points. Because you guys doing that is what helps me be able to pick up weird things like this to review. Alright guys, as always, I really appreciate every single one of you. Except you. Yeah, you with the weird eyes. Alright. Stay toxic.